Yeah, I think it's really easy this time of year, especially in such a politically charged climate, to get caught up in the news headlines, social media feeds, and things like that. What's important to remember as it relates to the markets with presidential election cycles is there's really not a difference between one political party or the other. What the markets want to see are some rules or some things that they can count on, and then they'll create ways uh, to be productive and to make money. These companies and these leaders are just looking for a set of rules to play by, and they'll figure it out. The worst part of the market is when there's uncertainty, when you're not sure how regulations may change, interest rates, etc. Right now, there's a lot of talk about whether one political candidate or the other one gets elected and what that'll do for the markets. What I would be more concerned about is what the Fed announces next, because the markets are already factoring in additional rate cuts this year. And the reason we're seeing continued uh, positive trends in the markets are because of things like that. So if the Fed were to come out and reverse what they've indicated, that would have a greater negative impact on the markets than either candidate being elected. Folks that are working in these businesses, right? Because if you think about the markets, they're really, we talk about the markets as this nebulous thing, but really it's a collection of companies that are providing value to an economy. And so those leaders are making plans for both political candidates. They've got a plan for each candidate should they be elected. And more so than that, the two chambers of Congress. Because the president, although he or she has some influence and power, laws and regulations are still generally created and changed by those two chambers in Congress. So, if you do have concerns, I'd also look at how those elections are going, because that's really going to tell the tale of what's coming down the pike. And so, the president and the presidential election tends to get all of the headlines. But I would say, in my opinion, that's really the least of our concerns if you do have concerns about our economy and the direction that it's going. So look at things like what the Fed is saying at their meetings, and look at what those races look like in the two chambers of Congress as we look towards 2025.